Well, here we go again. Man, did I hate Resident Evil, the Netflix series. And there's already enough reviews out there that hate this thing, but I just had to make my own. Being a big Resident Evil movie fan, I have to be honest, I've never played the game. I haven't read any of the books. I haven't nothing. I only know the Mila Jovovich films, and I know the recent Welcome to Raccoon City, which I also didn't like. I guess I really only like the Mila movies, and I've even watched a couple of the animated films, and those were okay, but really did not like Welcome to Raccoon City. I know the director on that has said that he's a big fan of the game, and so or games, and he wanted to try to fit all that into basically a 90-minute movie by combining the first game and the second game together, and it just didn't. I guess it just didn't work. I mean, nobody liked it. I think the animated series or just animated films do better just kind of on their own. But I'm telling you, this new Netflix show, 8 episodes, was just awful. It was just it's like it's well shot, it's well edited, it's the music is okay except for the songs. So like the instrumental stuff is fine. So like they put money and effort behind it, but it's just awful. Just I watched a few reviews, and everybody says the same thing. Why can't they just make a Resident Evil that takes place inside a house, or a mansion? I guess it would be, in the game. And yeah, why can't they? I mean, why can't somebody get the movies right? And I know that a lot of people didn't like the Mila movies. I am a Paul W.S. Anderson fan, and of course, Mila is my number one. And so, I mean, I'll pretty much watch whatever she's in, and most likely enjoy it. But I have liked the movies. I actually liked all of them up until Resident Evil, the final chapter. Saw that in the theater. I actually saw everyone in the theater. Resident Evil, Afterlife came out on my birthday. It came out on, I forget which year, but it came out on September 10th. And that was great. They even had posters for it, and I got a poster and I framed it. And I'm just a huge Resident Evil fan. And even now, after watching it a few times, I actually like Resident Evil, the final chapter. The editing is insane, but I've come to enjoy it. So I could say that I like all the Mila films. And if I had to pick and choose between Resident Evil Netflix series and Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, I would take Welcome to Raccoon City any day. I mean, one, it's only 90 minutes. Two, it actually feels like a Resident Evil movie. And the Netflix series does not at all. And I cannot possibly imagine what the pitch meeting for this was. I mean, it's basically, I mean, did somebody just walk in and say, hey, I got this idea for a Resident Evil series? And they're like, oh, really? Like, what is it? And they're like, Euphoria, HBO, Max Euphoria, but with zombies. And we'll even get a lead actress who looks like, the lead actress from from Euphoria, Zendaya, because the actress who plays Jade in Resident Evil Netflix kind of looks like Zendaya. And that's what I think they did. Even the music that's in the series matches what would be in Euphoria. It really does remind me of the HBO show, or even worse, something from like, I don't know, like the OC or the WB or any of the, 90210. I mean, that's what Saved by the Bell, which I love. But I mean, I don't want to see it with zombies. Well, maybe a classic Saved by the Bell. Give me some Zach Morris fighting a zombie, and I think I'd be okay with that. But it's not a Resident Evil movie at all. And I think that they were just trying to make, Euphoria a teenage drama show with zombies. There's really nothing in this series that resembles Resident Evil. And I mean, we got the lickers are in there. Okay, they get one scene. And then we have like a killer mutant giant, like caterpillar. And that looked pretty cool. The lickers looked okay. We get a spider. The spider looked okay. And the crocodile, excuse me, at least I think it was a crocodile, like the zombie mutant crocodile looked pretty cool at the end too. The zombie dog looked like crap. I don't know why everything else looked good, but the zombie dog looked very CGI. I don't know why. But it's almost like they just kind of threw in these little nuggets for the fans, and they're like, oh look, now it's a Resident Evil movie. Even the zombies kind of sucked. They just weren't really interesting at all. None of the characters are good. None of them are likable. You can't root for any of them. Jade, young or older, is just a bitch. Sorry, she's just not a good person. She's just a bad person. And her twin sister, who looks Hispanic young, but then is Asian as an adult, that's kind of weird. But how they call her Billy, and they even have her look like Billie Eilish, and there's even a Billie Eilish song at the beginning of the film. It's like, is that who we're aiming this at? Is this just an ad for Billie Eilish? Because that to me was strange. And I say that Jade is this bitch because when she's young and Billy gets bitten by the zombie dog and she's thinking she's going to die or turn into a zombie or something, stupidly they go to some party in a construction yard, when Billy should probably be locked up, in some room just in case. Jade goes off to talk to boys and just leaves her sister there. And so that just shows what a bad person she is. And then Billy is just kind of, I don't know, it's just a blank slate. I like the actress that plays her. I thought that she did a decent job playing her, but yeah, she has these violent tendencies, which I guess were maybe enhanced because of the zombie dog biting her. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And of course she has to be vegan, which doesn't really serve much point. Billy does talk Jade into going into Umbrella, which apparently is the easiest place to break into because their security sucks and they don't have a security guard and they don't have cameras and they don't have anything else around, that they could just use their father's voice to get in and and save some some rabbits and some lab animals. Well, I'm all for that. People who know me, they know that I have 2 cats and that I treat them like my children, and that I am not for animal testing. I like animals better than people, and so I would much rather save an animal than a person. It's just true. And but to me, just making her vegan, I'm not vegan, and which I should probably at least be vegetarian, but I'm not vegan, but I would still want these animals saved. But they go about it in the worst way possible, or at least in the worst written way possible. It's there's just the 2 people that I'll say that I did like, the actors. The actress who played Billy, I thought did a good job. The younger actress. And then of course Lance Reddick, who brings everything up like 10 notches because he's a great actor. He's really good. But having him as Albert Wesker was a massive mistake. He's not Wesker, and what I do know of the games, he's the furthest thing from it. Having all those clones, one kind of being dumb, and then we get some weird promotion for Olive Garden and breadsticks. So now we're selling Billie Eilish music and we're promoting Olive Garden. Okay. But all the clones I thought were absolutely stupid. When we finally did get to see the real Albert Wesker, he looks like Blade. Why make him look like Blade? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. I've even seen videos that people have put a picture of Blade, Wesley Snipes, next to, Wesker, and they look exactly like Blade. At least give him white hair or blonde hair or something. Give him something to make him look different from Blade, because I can't believe that somebody on set didn't go, hey, he looks just like Blade. Maybe we should do something different. And then I guess this is in the games that he falls into a volcano. But we see that off screen. Or we don't even see it. It's just off screen. We're just told that he falls into a volcano. And it's like, oh, finally, that's the Wesker that we want to see, is the evil one. And we don't get to see him die or do anything. He's maybe on screen for 5 minutes. This felt like a young adult novel. It really felt like it should have been something like The Hunger Games or Twilight, kind of a young reader Resident Evil novel or novels. And maybe that's what they should have done. It doesn't make, I just keep saying it just doesn't make sense, because it just, I can't imagine what the pitch meeting was for this. Like I said earlier, I mean, did they pitch this thing to be Euphoria? Or just something from like the WB or 90210? Because this is, I don't know who this is aimed at. I don't think that it's aimed at Resident Evil fans, of the games. It's just going to piss them off. I don't think that people who like the movies are going to like it. It's just going to piss them off. Maybe it is aimed at 15-year-old, girls. Maybe, I guess. They created a new Raccoon City, because something happened to the old one. Obviously, it was like a zombie attack, and that just went downhill. And the main woman that runs the place is just like evil McEvil. Like she's just evil to be pure evil. And I had no issue with her being gay, and we show the wife, but there also didn't seem to be at the same time a point to it. It's like they could have made her gay or straight, and it would have made no difference at all. So it's not like we're breaking new ground or anything. It's not like somebody's being daring. It's just like, oh, we'll just make the character gay. Pardon me. It just doesn't. But I mean, okay, I guess. All the women in this seem to be just, I don't know, they're just really mean. They're just not likable. I can't even imagine women rooting for these women. And all the men are assholes. They're just total assholes. And the way that the men are portrayed is either their balls are cut off, or they're like fat, hairy, and sweaty and evil. Like there really isn't a man in this. And I don't. I just found it to be very, very frustrating. I kept hoping it would get better. I watched all 8 episodes, and some of the reviews out there, people said they only watched 1. Some people got through like 2. Some people did watch the whole thing. I think all of us agree that they should not have a season 2. I would have absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. I think this is the reason why Netflix is losing subscribers, is they're just making this garbage. And I don't necessarily know if you could call this woke or not, but a lot of people don't like this, and maybe that's why. I mean, it's, instead of just giving us a good Resident Evil series, we got this. They seem to want to check off all the diversity boxes, and that seemed to be their main focus, was let's make sure this is diverse as possible. And we'll treat one gender one way, and we'll treat another gender another way. But the writers of this, I don't think ever watched a Resident Evil movie. I don't think they ever played the games. I don't think they even read the novels that came out. It's almost like they just Googled Resident Evil and found out, oh, okay, there's a guy named Wesker, so we'll use him, but we'll swap it out and make him a black character now, which is fine if there's a reason to do the swap. I don't mind when they do that. They've done it with some of the Marvel stuff, and I think that's okay. I think I'm saying his name right. Michael Duncan Clark was Kingpin in Daredevil. I thought that was a great casting choice. So I don't have an issue with them swapping, as long as it kind of serves a purpose. Or you make, if it's a white guy or a black guy, you still make it that character. Because at no point in, like, let's say the Mila movies or the Paul, W.S. Anderson films, was it ever brought up like, oh, Wesker's white. It doesn't matter. You could swap him out, and as long as it's the same character, then it would work. I just there's just nobody, and the character of Jade is so selfish and so, I mean, such a bad character, just so poorly written. I mean, the things that she does are incredibly selfish, and I would probably say narcissistic. That, you know, at the point where she brings a zombie onto the ship that she's on, and doesn't tell anybody, and there's this pheromone that will stop the zombies from attacking her, and she lets her daughter be in the same room, and the daughter, you know, gets close to the zombie, and the zombie breaks free, chases the daughter, and ends up killing one of the scientists. And then Jade is kind of banned from the ship. And it's like, what are you thinking? Why? This is such a bad character. This is, I mean, is this the type of character that women want to look up to? And there's nobody in it for men to look up to. You know, it's everybody is just weak. And I understand that Billy, Jade's sister, is upset with her, but I don't think her going over to Umbrella and then like lying to her sister and stuff, I don't know, a lot of that didn't make sense to me either. It just didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, I just don't, I don't get it. I mean, maybe that's what the review should be called. I don't get it, because I just don't. I don't understand how something this misguided can be made and have that much money spent on it, and it be this bad. And I know some people out there are going to like it, but I don't know. Maybe you should question yourself if you like this. There's so much garbage out there that people like because they're told that they have to like it. And I've brought this up before with like Jurassic World Dominion. I've brought this up with Marvel, and I've brought this up with Disney, and I've brought this up, you know, with Doctor Who, and I've brought this up with a lot of things that you don't have to like it. If it's bad, it's bad. And this is bad. And it's okay to like something that's bad, but just acknowledge that it's bad. And Resident Evil Netflix, which is what I'm calling it, just Resident Evil Netflix, is bad. There's nothing good in this at all. I'm trying to think if there's anything. No, I can't think. I mean, the mutant animals, those were cool. I guess that's a positive. But a lot of the stuff just kind of seemed to be there to be there. I mean, just even at the very beginning, when Jade's in her tent and she's been out there for 6 months studying the zombies, at no point did she possibly think that she might get cut and the zombies would smell the blood and then come after her. She doesn't have a gun. She doesn't have anything to defend herself. She's just in like a homeless tent, which is weird that the past takes place in 2022, and I think the future stuff is 2036. So you would think at some point she would want to have some sort of weapons with her just in case. She doesn't. And then if it's the end of the world, how does she have electricity? Like nobody would, unless they're working off of like solar panels or something, would have electricity. Like I get the boat that they're on, which I think is called the Universal. has, obviously has electricity. And there's like no zombies on it. There's no nothing. It's just people surviving and trying to figure out how to, um, cure this disease, which seems like after this period of time is very pointless. It kind of reminds me of Resident Evil, the final chapter, where at the very end, as all these zombies, these hordes of zombies are coming at Mila, and she's got just like the one, like like, I don't know what you call them, I'm going to say the wrong word. It's the one container of the antidote, and she throws it down, and that stops every zombie. That doesn't make sense. They would still kill her because it would that one, like the little container probably wouldn't do anything. And if it did, it would take years to maybe decades for it to go around the entire world. And so that makes no sense at all. And this kind of reminded me of that type of thing where there was just really no thought put into this. I don't get the girls. I don't get why they are twins. I don't get, I get that Wesker has to take blood from them to keep himself alive. But I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't. So, all right. So my opinion would be, do not bother with this show. If you've had, turn it off. There's even one episode, I think it's like 5 or 6, where it's just dialogue. It's all dialogue. Like nothing happens. They're on the ship and it's all dialogue. It's so boring. Just nothing happens. It's just not interesting at all. So I would say stay away from it. If you're interested in Resident Evil, play the games or read the books. I've considered doing that. Watch the Mila movies, the Paul W.S. Anderson films. They're not perfect, but I think that they're really fun as far as zombie movies go. There's a lot more creativity put into those than the Netflix series. And even if you want something more current, watch Welcome to Raccoon City, but maybe don't expect too much from it because I don't think they're going to be making a sequel to that one either. So, but all right, well, thanks. I appreciate you listening, and I will see you on. This show wore me out. It just wore me out. I was so, yeah. I mean, my favorite show, and it happens to be on Netflix, is actually right behind me. It's right here. Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. That's a show that has done really well. Really well. And, we're going on season 5, and it just either keeps the same or it moves up a level each season. That I would recommend on Netflix. That's really good, but not Resident Evil Netflix. All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you on the next video. Okay. Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. And this is a little bonus at the end. I remembered when I did my review for Jurassic World Dominion, I did show off my Jurassic Park, Jurassic World collection. I think there were, all Blu-rays. And so I wanted to show the Resident Evil stuff that I have. It's not much. It's mostly DVD, and there's some Blu-ray there. But I thought that I'd do a little bonus thing and show what I have. You know, this is what I like. I did not like, as you know from my review, the Resident Evil Netflix series. So this is what I'm going to stick with. And eventually I'm going to get all these on Blu-ray. But for right now, it's a combination of DVD and Blu-ray. So the first one is here, the deluxe edition Resident Evil. And some of these I may keep because of the covers and stuff, how this kind of has this kind of cool cover to it here. So I like this. And it's got its back here. You got its side. And so this first one is, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. And it has the special features on it are alternate ending with director Paul Anderson's video intro, cast and filmmakers commentary. The commentary is funny. This is before Mila and Paul W.S. Anderson got married, and Michelle Rodriguez is in the film too, and she can't get Mila's name right. She keeps saying Mila Jovovich, but it's actually the J is an H, so it's Mila Jovovich. Most Americans say Jovovich because of the J, but everybody else says it with an H, Jovovich. And she does make fun of her. Like, we worked together on an entire film, and you still don't know how to say my name correctly. It's actually kind of funny. Then there's visual effects commentary, 11 featurettes, filmographies, theatrical trailer, and much more. So I love this this cover on it is just really, really cool. There's the inside. And then after that came Resident Evil Apocalypse. And of course, in Resident Evil, this is the one that introduced the zombie dogs. This one brings in Nemesis. And this is really cool because this is also a special edition, and it pulls up like that. That's why I'm not going to get rid of these. Even if I get them on Blu-ray, I like this type of stuff. So now we got like the city, Nemesis, and we got all the zombies. We got a zombie dog, and nothing on the side. That's the back. And it is a double disc. So movie, special features. And if we put it back in here, the special features on this. So featured disc, it's a filmmaker commentary, cast commentary, writer producer commentary, and then on the bonus disc is 20 deleted scenes. Wow, 20. Cast outtakes, Game Over, Resident Evil Reanimated, a 6-part making of Resident Evil Apocalypse. One called Corporate Malafants. I can't really. Looks like Malafants. Corporate Malafants. Might be saying that wrong. Game Babies, Symphony of Evil, and Poster Gallery. And this one is directed by Alexander Witt. So the first Resident Evil, I thought was directed more like kind of like a video game. There's no first person stuff in it like they did with House of the Dead, which I'm also a big fan of. But I thought it was more slick and more like a video game. This one, Resident Evil Apocalypse, to me felt more like an Italian movie. it just, that's me. I just thought for some reason it felt very Italian, even though it's not directed by an Italian. So, but that's me. The third one is a widescreen special edition, Resident Evil Extinction. And there's its side. Oh, its side on this one. Yeah, it looks like that. So it looks a little different on that side. So I think that's pretty cool. And then the side on Resident Evil Extinction and its back. I like that this one has, you know, some of it takes place in Las Vegas, which is where I live. So that's kind of cool. And it's directed by Russell Mulcahy, who is Australian. And so this has a kind of a Mad Max feel to it. So hence all the desert stuff in it. So I thought that was kind of cool. Russell Mulcahy directed a lot of the, I believe he's Australian. If not, he's British. I could be wrong. But he directed a lot of the Duran Duran videos. And of course he did Highlander and Highlander 2 and more. The special features on this one are deleted scenes, sneak peek of Resident Evil Degradation, which is one of the animated films. The first Resident Evil CGI feature film. Filmmaker's commentary with director and writer-producer. Oh, and producer. So we got Russell Mulcahy, Paul W.S. Anderson, and Jeremy Bolt. Making of featurettes. Alice Vision. The Big Bang. So Alice Vision is pre-production. The Big Bang is shooting Resident Evil Extinction. And then Bigger, Faster, Stronger, The Undead Evolve. And then Vegas visual effects miniatures. So yeah, they even have the stratosphere like right up there. So okay, so then for the next one, now we're hitting Blu-ray territory. Paul W.S. Anderson started shooting 3D. So this is a Blu-ray 3D, and it's Resident Evil Afterlife in 3D, and it's the full high definition 3D version. It also comes with a 2D version too. And the good thing about Paul W.S. Anderson and 3D is his films are shot in 3D, not like films that were shot in 2D and then converted to 3D. These are actually shot in 3D. He knows what he's doing. He's a film geek. It's so awesome that a film geek got to marry Mila Jovovich. I mean, how awesome is that? And so he knows what he's doing with 3D. So the 3D in these is pretty good. Yeah, it says here, right on the back there, includes both 2D and 3D film versions. It says filled with lots of eye-popping special effects. This is what 3D is supposed to look like. And that's from the Hollywood News Report. These special features are get inside the creative process of this action spectacular with behind-the-scenes featurettes, a filmmaker commentary, and check out a sneak peek of Resident Evil Damnation, which is one of the animated films. Feed your appetite for the afterlife with these Blu-ray exclusives. Unrated version, picture-in-picture track, deleted scenes and outtakes, 5 additional behind-the-scenes featurettes. So if you get the the DVD of this, you're not going to get that stuff, and it's not going to be in 3D either. Yeah, and this one's going back to Paul W.S. Anderson directing it. So it looks like that. So that's the explosion that's right in here, and it's got a little booklet of their 3D movies. So we put that back in there. So I guess let's see. So it looks like that. And then you put the explosion back in. And now it looks like that again. There you go. And then the next one after that is also Blu-ray 3D, Resident Evil Retribution. And here's its side. And it's back. And let's see. Yep, written and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Includes both 2D and 3D versions of the film. To watch this movie in 3D, you need a 3D HD TV. Plus, you need a Blu-ray 3D player or a PlayStation 3 with 30 firmware upgrade, plus compatible 3D glasses, plus high-speed HDMI cable. There you go. They tell you exactly what you need to know to watch this correctly. The special features are Drop Undead, Creatures Featurette, Filmmakers and Cast Commentaries, Blu-ray exclusives, deleted and extended scenes and outtakes in 3D, 6 behind-the-scenes featurettes, plus Project Alice, the interactive database. So okay, so it's like that. And so this is the movie. These are special features. And then here's a Resident Evil promotion for other films. And this is the, for the disc registration code. Yeah, is this here? Let me get that. But on here, you get the opening of the film right there. So that's cool. Put these back in here. And then the last one for the series, which was delayed for a while because Mila was pregnant with their second kid, is the Resident Evil, the Final Chapter, which I've come to like. I didn't like it when I first saw it. Man, did I not like it. Just that editing was awful. And this is the digital, Blu-ray and digital. It says, watch it in retaliation mode, plus sneak peek of Resident Evil Vendetta, which is one of the animated films. Finish the fight. I do like that picture of her. Here's its side. Got its back. And this, let's see, included with purchase, digital HD with ultra violet. Expired in 2019. Blu-ray exclusives are Retaliation Mode. Director Paul Anderson and Mila Jovovich break down key moments and discuss the franchise. Sneak peek of Resident Evil Vendetta. Stunts and weaponry. Also includes Explore the Hive and the Badass Trinity and the Women of Resident Evil. Okay. And let's pop this. So yeah, it looks the same. And it's got its code. And promo for the game. And some movies. I mentioned before that I don't throw that stuff away. I just keep it in here. All right. And then the last one is the new movie. So Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Maybe down the road, I'll like it more. I just didn't like it. I don't like what they did with the characters. I know Alice was not in any of the games, but I miss Mila, I miss Alice. This is the Blu-ray and digital. Witness the Beginning of Evil. I don't like what they did with Wesker. That I did not like at all. Got its back. I do not agree with this at all. One of the best films in the entire Resident Evil franchise. That is from Nightmarish Conjurings. I do believe you are wrong. Special features are replicating the DNA, cops, corpses, and chaos, zombies, liquors, and the horrors of Resident Evil. You also get the digital movie included. And this one is written and directed by, I think it's Johannes Roberts. And I think on one of these special features is I think it might be the zombies, liquors, and the horrors of the Resident Evil is the excuse me, is the director really talks about the games and how much he's a big fan, and how it's like a combination of Resident Evil 1 and 2 game. So I give them credit for trying. I mean, they tried, but I just think they failed. This is not what we wanted. I mean, obviously, or else it would have done a lot better. So, and front, back, look inside. I do like the big eye, like the big umbrella eye is pretty cool. And then we got its code here. Yeah, this is the code. Okay. All right, so to recap on what I was showing you, how would I rank these actually? I would probably say Resident Evil would be my favorite. Afterlife would probably be my second favorite. Retribution, my third favorite. Extinction, fourth favorite. Apocalypse, fifth favorite. Final Chapter, sixth. I don't know, that might go someplace else in there, but for right now, it's six. And then Welcome to Raccoon City would be my seventh favorite. So it's not really even a favorite, but that's where it would sit. All right, everybody, thank you. I appreciate you watching this entire video, and thank you for watching this little bonus thing. I like doing these from time to time. I did them with one other video too. And I'll see you on the next video. All right, bye.